Hello, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Cannabis. I'm your weed master, Dr. Tim. What would the holidays be without spirits? So I thought this time would be a good time to show you how to infuse some of your most favorite alcohols. So we're going to infuse some spiced rum, Captain Morgan. Goes great with some Dr. Pepper along with the cannabis. It has a really good flavor to it. We're also going to try some Kettle One vodka. Now the vodka's clear, so infusing this one, it's going to get cloudy. But it should taste good as well. And then of course we've got some Jameson Irish whiskey. I've been told everything goes with Jameson. So we're going to infuse some whiskey as well. So a little bit of whiskey, a little bit of vodka, a little bit of rum. We should have plenty of the spirits to make our holidays happy. So stay tuned, and Merry Christmas. Okay, here are the 4 brands that I'm going to infuse. I added a 4th one. We're going to do a fireball as well. But what I've done is a little shout out to our grower out there up north. Brought us back some Gorilla Cookie. What I've done is I've taken a whole ounce, I've broken it down, put 6 grams in each one. It gives me a gram left over from each of them, so we'll test it out. But what we're going to do now is I'm going to take each one of them and I'm going to pour the cannabis in the container. And then we're going to fill it up. I'm not going to empty out the whole bottle. I'm going to leave a little bit so I can use that as a rinse. But this process takes 3 days to infuse it. All right. We're also going to try this with some vodka this time. The vodka is clear already, so that's definitely going to get cloudy or green. Should be good though. And the jars are better with the alcohol. It's easier to shake it and all as well. Rather than plastic. So of these 4 bottles, the only one I've got that's not glass is the Fireball, which is fine because after we're going to do everything inside the glass mason jars, so we'll be fine that way. Real sticky, this Gorilla cookie. I couldn't put it through a grinder. It was that sticky. So I used my hands and a pair of scissors to break it down by hand. We don't want it too fine anyway, because we do have to strain it afterwards. But we'll get these started. And what I'm going to do is, just to save time on the video, after 3 days, when it comes time to strain it, heat it to activate it, I'll only do it on one. I'll record it on one video to show you how to do it, but it's done the same way on all these. And we'll take like 45 minutes to activate each one individually. You're not going to have 4 double boilers going at once. Alright, so here's what we got started. We've got one, I've labeled each one of our jars so I know which one it is. But I'm just going to shake it up. And that's going to infuse and strip the cannabinoids right out of that plant. Alright, that's the Jameson. Same deal. And the Fireball. You can already see it's starting to infuse it. Alright, and we're going to set those in my closet in the dark for 3 days. Every day I'll come by and shake them all up. And on the 3rd day, 4th day, we'll take it out and we'll strain it. We'll start using the rest of them and we'll finish up our alcohol. Okay. Okay, so it's been 3 days. This is day 4. And this is our Captain Morgan 100 proof spiced rum. And you can see it's pretty well infused. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to set it in a bath of canola oil. I'm going to set the canola oil at about 220 degrees, and I want to get the inside up to about 180, 190, and I'm going to watch it for 40 minutes and make sure that it has been all debocalized and that THC becomes active. Then we'll go ahead and strain it, and we'll have ourselves some nice infused Captain Morgan. And rather than show you this on all the different bottles that I've done, the same method's going to be used on all 4 of the bottles that we've got. Okay? Okay, I've got the oil right now, bath set at 220 degrees. We are 180 degrees inside here. So we're going to let that cook like that for 40, 45 minutes. We're going to watch it, watch the bubbles, and make sure that it's all debocalized and activate that THC. And then we'll go ahead and strain it, and it's all set. Okay. It's been in there now for 40 minutes. So we're now going to take it out, let it cool for a minute, and then we'll start straining it. Alright, it's cooled down a bit. Jar is still hot, but we'll take our time. Now I'm going to keep the hot oil bath continually go, because after I get all of the cannabis out of this, I want to put it back in the bath one more time, just to make sure that one, I've got everything out of it that I can, and that it's done debocalizing and activating. Looks pretty good though. You can see how nice and dark it is compared to the bottle. All right, so, but now we'll just strain it in here. And this jar is still pretty hot, so. I've got 3 cheesecloths going through a metal strainer into my Pyrex dish. Pour that into that. Get all the cannabis out of there. Glass is hot. Cool. See, it's strained there pretty good. I may have to squeeze too much. That's pretty much it. And it looks pretty clean and clear, so I don't think I need to reactivate that. So let's let that cool down a little bit, and we'll continue. Alright, I've removed all the cannabis out of the rum now, and I've put it back into the double boiler, into the canola oil bath. And I'm leaving it there for the last 10 minutes. I only left it in there for 30 minutes with the cannabis in there, but the alcohol is starting to burn off. It looked like there wasn't any more debocylation going on, so I took the cannabis out, strained it, put it back on here now without the cannabis for the last 10-15 minutes of that original 40. So we want to make sure that that THC that's in there becomes really active. Alright, pretty much done though, and then we'll let it sit out, cool, and then we'll bottle it. Alright, now the remaining that we had in the jar, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it through the cannabis that I took out, and just as a rinse. I want to make sure I get everything out of that cannabis. And that's the idea behind saving a little bit. That way we make sure we get it all out. Alright. Pat that right down. That way we know we've got it all out. Alright, and we'll just pour the rest of that into our jar that we've got. Alright. Now we've only got a little bit of alcohol left. We're just going to put that right in with it. And we've only got a couple minutes left. And that'll infuse and mix the rest of that rum all for us. Then we're all set to put it back in here. Alright. Okay, it's cooled down enough now. I'm just going to pour it back into the Pyrex, because it's a little easier pouring it into the bowl. You see there's will be a little bit more sediment that comes down over time. We let it sit in that jar for a while. But that's it. So we're all set. So let me get it in the jar and we'll get right back. Okay, we've got it all poured back into the bottle. And you can see we got back most of the bottle. That part of it burns off, and that's part of it burning off when it activates the THC. So now we've got an active bottle of Captain Morgan Spicy Rum at 100 proof. Alright, we're going to do the same process for the other bottles of liquor that we got. We'll do that and then we'll get all back together. Okay, here's our finished products. You see our Kettle One vodka, our Jameson Irish whiskey, then we've got some Fireball cinnamon whiskey. I've got some Captain Morgan Spicy Rum at 70 proof, and another Captain Morgan Spicy Rum at 100 proof. They look pretty good when you put them all together. These are our Christmas spirits. I hope you all enjoyed this educational video on how to infuse your alcohol. But we've got a great collection of spirits here. I hope we have a really good time this holiday season. I like the Dr. Pepper myself. The Diet Dr. Pepper, along with some spicy Captain Morgan. And this one is a really good one. It's 100 proof. But I tell you, it's really strong though. You really can't, I'd say maybe a half a shot glass when you make your drink. But it is really good. That flavor of the Dr. Pepper with the cannabis, great. Just remember to drink responsibly. You know what it's like when you get high, and hopefully you know what it's like when you get a buzz on drinking booze. Well, you're going to combine the both of them together, so it's one potent drink. Merry Christmas, everybody, and have a happy New Year. Hey, don't forget to check out my other video on the hard candy, cinnamon candy. Had a little help from Betty Crocker, and we were able to infuse a little bit of that, so check it out.